welcome back to Dawn of Djinn. We're here. We're gonna play some Golden Sun. Nothing else happened in the past couple hours. I'm playing some video games. Video games of my childhood. Video games that are glorious and memorable and only bring me joy. Oh, that reminds me, we're backtracking, which means Vault Cave. Freaking Vault Cave is coming up next. With my horrible timing, I picked this back up to take a break and relax, and I literally revisit this game right before doing one of my least favorite parts of all Golden Sun. I guess that's in the future, and that was in the past. So, worrying about it before it happens is only gonna make it worse, I suppose. And if there's anything about Dawn of Djinn that I've been meaning to talk about, I forgot. So... Oh, we're getting side-sip. Just when I thought I could just chill and let the game do all the talking, I have to actually explain things. Go figure. Side Sip is basically a weakened version of Side Drain. Like, Side Drain doesn't exist in Dawn of Djinn. There's a combination of this weaker version, and eventually we'll be getting a version that's much stronger than the original Side Drain. Yeah, don't mind me, it's been a hot minute. No stream elements. There is no Donkey Kong 64 randomizer. Oh, wait, that's my title. That's literally asking what I mean about a Donkey Kong 64 randomizer. I'm killing my own joke. Wouldn't be the first time I've murdered comedy, though. I'm sure I've done it before. Next time we get into a fight, though, I'll be able to show you exactly what I mean about all that. No, is there like a downward path that I'm... Ah, here we go. I don't think there's anything really important here, because funny enough, I only remember this path existed watching a blind playthrough and seeing the chat, like, yell at the stream. Well, yell is a harsh term, but repeatedly remind them that this exists. Yeah, it's just a nut. Oh well. At least I got it. And at least I don't have to redo any sort of long extraneous puzzle. You'd think I would have an AoE attacking margin at this point, but oh, there we go. Forget fatigue works that way. Start snipe. Oh, that's right. Oh, we're not even gonna get to see Side Sip because whereas Side Sip or Side Suction is one of those, it's based on class level. So like, as long as we have 4 more Djinnies, it's Side Suction. If we have less than that, it's Side Sip. Also, it's probably not great to demonstrate it unless we burn something. It's easier to demonstrate when we actually have synergy to burn. Also, have I ever shown off Drain Set / Soul Quarf? Soul Quarf, if it's not self-explanatory, it's basically Side Drain, but a lot more useful. You can't really see it because I was already full on health, but like, if you get lucky enough for it, it hits a wide range of enemies, and if you get lucky for the side effect of proc on each of the enemies, you can recover a lot of health. It's a little risky because, like, it's not always guaranteed to work. And now I just push this log down here, and we're gonna have a new Djinni friend, if I recall. And speaking of recalling things, if I recall correctly, like if we didn't already have enough ways to slow down foes. Oh, that's right, I replaced it because there's already so many other ways to slow down foes. Solar Mitts. Power split by the sunlight. Literally, really just as strong as the gravity mitts? Okay. Also, I don't think have I even properly showed off the mace? I don't think so. And I think I got at least one crit with it, and that's enough to showcase that they're more likely to have their crits proc. Plus, I'm sure we'll get fun things later on. Anyways, it may be a problem that we don't have the Halt Gem, but don't forget, Shaman's Rod, I believe, gets us Halt by default. So we can just hop on Overdrive in here and halt the enemy, halt the Djinn, and it'll be our friend like nothing ever happened. That's the Jupiter Djinni draft. Anyways, attack a full, boost loss to the winds. I forgot that I gave a Djinni like that so early on, but like, if we ever run into enemies that are just spamming stats boosting moves, now we can just use that Djinn, and that becomes a non-issue. For some reason, you have Size Sip and not the Size Suction. I guess we can just showcase both of them right in a row and demonstrate how it works, sort of, except I'm not really low enough on synergy to properly demonstrate any of this, but hey, we'll give it a go anyways. You'll just have to take my word for it. Like, it attacks in a wide range, but it's not guaranteed to work. But if it does work, it drains a lot of synergy. Maybe even too much synergy. Maybe like consideration for nerfing in version 2. Let's see. Actually, I just realized there's a rare enemy with a rare drop that appears in here. I should probably fight enemies enough to actually get that drop, but I am a little bit worried about being over leveled. Oh yeah, I never actually showcased Kite too. It costs a lot of synergy to use, so there is that downside. But as we might get a chance to see, that is a very effective use. It also takes synergy from the target as well. But you still get Kite's original effect of it. If you remember Kite from Golden Sun, it's a really useful Djinni because it gives you another ally the ability to attack twice the following turn. And you can use that to your advantage. So, the Kite Djinni charm that grants us this ability in the first place works just like the original Djinni of Kite. But considering now that it's synergy and not just a Djinn, I had to balance it out somehow. So I figured that a good way to balance it out would be to actually have it cost synergy for both you, the one using it, and you, as in the target you choose to attack twice the following turn. Anyways, I'm gonna see if I can get that enemy that I've been preluding to appear. So just give me a sec. I think no, these were from Molten Cave, but it's nice to see them again too. Oh, that must have been a drop from the Stalagmites. So I forget what it's called in vanilla, but this is basically replacing that. Now to roam around a little bit more until I actually get that affected trigger. Also, we got the real revive. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. So that'll be useful to have. It's nice to actually have a full health recovery guaranteed revival move. There we go, the Undead Mage. It may look a little familiar, but I'm sure it's all just coincidental. Now, I gotta refresh myself on what it's weak to, because if we can get it to drop this item, that's the whole reason I really want to fight this thing. So maybe I shouldn't put it to sleep so we could actually see it in action. Okay, it's weak to wind. Good to know. Garrett's kind of slow to begin with, but it's also kind of got... doesn't got mini boss power, but it does got mini boss health, I believe. Like, it's its bulkyism. It's a bit more bulky than a normal enemy. So I guess timing the finisher is going to be a little tricky. I'm just gonna cross my fingers that this does the trick. Especially if I just hit strong, but not too strong. Perfect. Let's see if our timing pays off. No. I mean, I'm always worried about getting too over leveled, so I'll fight a couple more. This would be, if only I had an item that sped up encounters. I didn't just sell it away at a shop. But alas. Wow, it's a bit more rare than I recall it being. I did only code it into one encounter, but I still didn't think it would be that rare. Okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. Might try one or two more encounters, and if I don't find it, if I don't find it again, I don't find it again. Would it be cool to showcase the new enemy with a new item drop for the fine people watching on the internet? I said one more, but it's kind of like frickin' Beaver Fodder. I'm feeling one more will be the one more this time. And with the case of the prior, it actually worked. So can't just call it gambler's fallacy, even though that might be part of the whole definition of frickin' gambler's fallacy. Right, a little closer to the door. I started working on one of the major downsides is with Dawn of Djinn is because I worked on a patch that had the cutscenes and dialogue taken out of it. In order to actually make a version that has the cutscenes and dialogue in it, I have to pretty much make it from scratch with a different patch. So that's where version 2 is coming along. I actually did a little bit work on it today. Like it was, I've been jumping. I do a bit of mod work between Paper Mario and Golden Sun. It's a little weird combination, I know, but just like with Paper Mario, the Star Rod is a really in-depth tool once you learn how to use it. That kind of like lets me do things that I wouldn't be able to do with any editor that's out of this game. But Golden Sun is always a game that I grew up with, and kind of what got me into messing around with the game codes and that in the first place. Because like my dream game takes a lot of inspiration from games I grew up with, including Golden Sun, but I always got discouraged by the programming. So then like one day I hear about Golden Sun's spiritual successor that was on Kickstarter and it failed, and it's just like my dream game's never gonna happen unless I make it myself, and screw it, if I just can't get into the programming to actually make my own Golden Sun inspired game, then maybe I can just make a Golden Sun game. And just checking out the Golden Sun hacking community forums, I stumbled upon a really old but really simple and easy to learn editor of it, and that kind of spawned into like the Dawn of Djinn stuff that you're seeing on screen today. Because initially I was just literally just making a hard mod that just literally was just number changes, but then I got more and more experimental. The community introduced me to a tool that actually made text changes work, so you can actually see what new abilities were. Might not be a bad idea to try to get some... Well, first let's take care of these enemies. I got so caught up in my story, I just remembered I wasn't trying to fight these guys. I was actually trying to look for something to pop up. One more go, and if it doesn't work this time... Thanks. Yeah, it's not popping up. There's like this undead mage. You probably, unfortunately, you probably just missed it because I did get to encounter once. There's an undead mage. It has the ability to drop a new weapon, which is kind of similar to the bits that we have here, but it's Earth Elemental and undead based, and I find it kind of cool. So it's a bit of a shame that we didn't get it to drop that item, but it is what it is. Like, it wouldn't exactly be... It kind of defeats the purpose of it being an item drop if it was a guaranteed every time you fought the enemy, so yeah, sure. Kind of been getting sidetracked a bit as is, delaying the inevitable that is frickin' Vault Cave. I think the sad part is that, like, it's literally just the same... It's the same dungeon as in the original Golden Sun, but I just never been a huge fan of the puzzle in that dungeon. Might at least be able to see some new enemies pop up here and there along the way though. Get a little slight change of scenery.